Is the litter bot worth the heavy price tag? That's the number one question that was on all of our minds before purchasing this product. I'm here to tell you the pros and cons of the litter bot based off my experience of having a litter bot for about 3 weeks now, including a weekend trip to LA. I don't know about you, but a question that popped in my mind was, what if Mr. Whiskers decides to take a spin along with the litter bot? I didn't think my ragdoll would actually go in there, but he did, as you can see. So I purchased the litter robot for $450, and it actually comes with 3 waist liners, and you can use any litter as long as it's clumping material. So let's talk about the pros first. So this machine may seem intimidating, but you'll get the hang of it in no time. So the first button says cycle, and this prompts the litter robot to cycle the litter through its filter system. This separates the waste and the clean litter. The waste goes down a chute and into the waste drawer. It then cycles back to its original position. This button will be the button you will probably use the most if you decide not to set the litter bot on a self-timer, and I'll talk about that in just a moment. So the second button is to empty everything inside the robot, including both the litter, waste, and basically everything into the chute. So to set the litter robot on self-cleaning mode, hold down the button for 5 seconds. I usually just count this in my head, and it will display a glowing light. So then press the reset button underneath to choose your preference. So if you press it 3 times, it's just gonna give you 3 options. A blinking blue light means 3 minutes, a blinking yellow means 7, and a red one, which I personally use, takes 15 minutes to cycle after your kitty is done doing its business. And the reason why I set it to the longest time option is because if you don't give the litter enough time to clump, it will slide down the chute attached to the black material inside the globe and create a gross mess for you to clean up later if you don't want your litter bot to stink. So, here's my experience. Just last week, both my cats had diarrhea because I was using a room spray and accidentally sprayed too much of it. I aired out my apartment, and some of the particles must have gotten into their water and food since both of them started having diarrhea the day after. It took a while for their waste to clump in the litter, so whenever the litter bot cycled, it slid down the chute and there were waste marks on the brand new litter bot. I was really bummed, but I had no choice. I had to take it apart, and then I cleaned it. It wasn't a big deal taking it apart because it was pretty simple, but I usually would just use a hose, and I didn't have a hose at the time, so then I just used my sink. Not the greatest idea, but that's what I did because none of the kitties wanted to use a bathroom that reeked of an old roadkill on a hot day in the middle of July. I learned my lesson there and always had the timer set on 15 just to be cautious. So there's benefits in setting it early if you're sensitive to odor. So maybe 7 minutes might be a happy medium and the best for most of you. So here's a con I want to discuss. Whenever my Scottish Fold pees, she decides that she likes to pee on the edge of the litter. And what I mean by that is when she pees on the edge of the litter, her pee touches the black material inside the litter bot. And my advice is I would honestly fill the litter bot to the line and then just a little bit more around the edges. I even use my hands to just basically put some of the litter around the edges, and it's clean litter, just to make sure that it doesn't clump to the side and stick to the side of it. So that's my advice there for you if you've got a kitty who is an edge peer. So here's a quick run through. Basically, here are the pros. Easy to clean manually with mild soap and a hose. So the mild soap I used was Dawn dish soap. It's the litter robot itself is already self-cleaning, and you'll never have to scoop their waste again. And there's also a night light for cats who are older and have difficult time seeing. So here are the cons. Number 1, it won't catch all of the litter, as when the cats come out of the chamber, they'll track some litter. You'll need to purchase a separate mat to catch the extra litter from their paws. But it definitely reduces the amount on the ground compared to a regular litter tray. So, number 2, some of their waste may get onto the black material if your cats like to do their business on the edge. And number 3, it's costly, of course. So, to me, I thought it was worth it. And if you have one cat, I wouldn't really invest in a litter bot. But if you have 2 or more fur balls at home, you'll realize this thing is a game changer. Thank you for watching this video. I hope it was informative enough for you to decide whether or not you should purchase the litter robot.